Presentation from Melissa Miller. She is the Anthem representative for our school trust. So she has come today to share some hopefully valuable information for you. So come on in. I'm Oprah Winfrey. This is my favorite things show. Look under your seat. You're going to get a prize. I'm kidding, of course. But this is really some great information. So we welcome Melissa. If you did not sign in, please do so. In the back, there are some handouts and some pens as well. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. As she stated, my name is Melissa Miller. I actually work for Anthem. I work directly with the trust. And I'm actually your assigned, what they call service rep. So anytime educational meetings are done, I'm the person that comes out and will do those for you. So whether it's in regards to benefits, wellness, any of the programs that you have available to you and so forth. Today, it's my pleasure to present to you what we call our 360-degree programs, which are all part of health and wellness. So we like to promote those because a lot of you aren't aware of that they even exist out there. You have free programs built into your benefits with Anthem. So I'm just out here to do some education on that today. Just to touch base real quick, I want to make sure that everyone grabbed a handout and a pen as you came in. You don't have to return the pens, they are yours. People try to give them back to me and I'm like, I have enough, please keep those. But make sure you also sign in if you haven't before you leave today. I like to keep it open forum, so anytime you have questions, feel free just to wave at me and I'll stop and answer those at any time. The first handout I'm going to go over has a mom and daughter at the top, and it says 360 health degree programs in blue. This goes over the basic 360-degree health programs that are part of your plan. Now, just as a reminder, these are free programs. You're not charged any additional for these. These are built into your benefits. So we want to make sure that you're aware of them and also to encourage you to use them if you can for you or any eligible family member that are on your plan. So again, they're free, they're confidential. No one knows that you're signed up for them except for you, yourself, and the nurse that you work with at Anthem. So the first program they have listed on here is what we call the Condition Care Program. Condition Care focuses on illnesses, chronic illnesses such as asthma, COPD, diabetes, coronary artery disease, and so forth. They'll work with you or any eligible family member to help improve your health in regards to this and any of these illnesses. They cover a few more, but what happens is Anthem will receive claims in for these type of conditions. We flag them on our side, and they notify our wellness department if you have any of these condition type of illnesses. Now again, we do a friendly reach out to you. Typically what will happen is a nurse from our wellness area will call you, usually at your home, and you're not there during the day, but they leave you a message and they tell you, hi, I'm so-and-so with Anthem. I'm in their wellness department. Please give me a call back, and they leave you an 800 number. The most common question I get is, how do I know that it's someone from Anthem calling me and it's not someone trying to spam me or commit fraud and so forth? Don't worry, as long as they leave you an 800 number that is our nurse line phone number. And you're like, well, how do I know it's the nurse line phone number? This phone number is on the back of your ID card, and it's listed as the 24/7 nurse line assistance phone number. It'll be that same 800 number with a different extension for the person that you're speaking to. So again, as long as it's that nurse line phone number, you're safe to call that number back. And they will ask you questions because they will ask you to identify yourself and confirm that you're an Anthem member. And then they will direct you to the correct person in regards to these programs. So don't feel fearful when they ask you your name or your ID number. They will, because those are basic things on how we look you up in our system. So they will ask you those basic questions. But again, just remember that all these programs, they're free, they're confidential, and only you, any of your family members that participate, and the nurse that you're talking to at Anthem knows that you're participating in these programs. The best thing is that you'll have 24 access to talk with a registered nurse in regards to you or any of your family members' conditions. They'll send you free literature. They'll do follow-up calls whenever you'd like them. And the best thing is they do it on your schedule. So we're all not available in the office 9 to 5, or you're working. So they'll work with you to call you at convenient times and touch base with you as well. They also share information by email if you'd like to provide that, and they'll go over that when you call in. And again, it's for you or any eligible family member that qualify for any of those conditions under the condition care program. The next one, and most important one, is the future moms. Future moms, we like to do pre-education on this because what happens is, Anthem, we don't know that you're pregnant or you're expecting until we get the claim in that says, hey, congratulations, you've just had a baby. Because they bill it as a global fee, which means the claim comes in after you've had the baby. So that way, we don't know that you're pregnant until that claim comes in. So we like to do pre-education for this because we want you to be aware that there is a program called Future Moms for you. We have trouble capturing these members because the claim comes in after the baby's born. So we like to do pre-education. But if you're expecting or decide to add on to your family, please contact that nurse line phone number on the back of your card, and we will work with you through first trimester all the way until after the baby's born. This is a great program because, especially for those future first-time moms, because you generally have a lot of questions. And your OBGYN office may not be opened 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you may not be able to ask them questions. However, you've got this great nurse coach who will be able to answer questions for you at any time, and there's no charge for it. It's a free service. They also give you a nice little maternity and pregnancy book to follow through, to track things on your own. But again, it's another one of those programs that we want you to be aware of. Again, built into your benefits for free. The last but not least on this flyer is the 24/7 nurse line. Same phone number that's on the back of your ID card. This is a great service because, again, you get to talk with a registered nurse for free anytime you'd like. So the common question I get on this is, does my family member have to be on the plan if I've got a question about them? The answer is no, they don't. And that's for this service only for the nurse line. You can call and ask them anything. Because someone asked me, do you have a list of what we can ask them? The question, to answer that, no, we don't have a list because you can ask them anything you'd like. So you can call in anytime and talk with a registered nurse for free. We find that the common feedback I get for this one, this program is specifically for those who have children. Maybe you have a sick child in the middle of the night. You're not sure what you should do. So you call in, you talk with a registered nurse, they give you advice, and you get the courtesy of a follow-up call back. They actually call you back to check to see how you and your family member are doing that you called about, and if you have any other questions. So they add that personal touch in, and again, it's another one of those free programs that are built in. And as you know, your office, even if you have a regular primary care doctor and so forth that you're comfortable with, they're not open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because that's just, there's the typical 9 to 5 hours or 8 to 6 or however they do that. And sometimes you get Saturday hours if you're lucky. But on this 24/7 nurse line, you get to talk with a registered nurse at any time. And these are nurses in all different kinds of field specialties. So they can, it could be a registered nurse that you talk to. It could be a nutritional specialist that you talk to. But they deal with all kinds of illnesses and conditions. So again, you actually get to talk to someone that's a specialist in your field. So, and that the ones that you have questions on. Any questions on those three programs? The next handout, again, has, it looks like probably a dad and his son on the top. Complex care. The complex care, again, is another one of the 360-degree health programs. It will help you set up healthy lifestyle goals. Maybe you're going to have surgery in the future and you've got a lot of questions about that, or you want to do some pre-prep or after-prep after your surgery. You can actually talk with a nurse in regards to that and a coach to help you through all of that. So again, they work with you directly in regards to that. Now, these are going to be for maybe you have multiple conditions going on at the same time. Maybe you have diabetes and you're worried about having an upcoming surgery, or you're diabetic and you're going through pregnancy. They will work with you through those multiple conditions and help you through the entire process. So again, just another one of our coaching programs that are free and confidential. Any questions on either one of the flyers I just covered? Great. The next handout that you have is 2 pages long. It's stapled together, and at the top on the first cover page it says My Health Note. This is part of the My Health Advantage program. Again, another one of those free things that are behind the scenes that you probably aren't aware of unless you've received one of these in the mail. The great thing about this, though, is that it's specific to you as the member. If you look on the cover, it kind of goes over what your name is, when the date was printed on. But if you look in the inside of that, it goes over your medical claims, your pharmacy claims, just a brief history. It's personalized to you. On the next page, it talks about the medications that you take regularly, routinely. And then the back page is for you to list additional medications. Maybe you're taking some nutritional supplements or something like that, and your doctor wants to be aware of that. This is a great handout and flyer that we send to you, and again, personalized to you based on you and your family. What we want you to do with this is not simply get it in the mail and, oh, okay, I know, I've already got all this, and trash it. We actually want you to share this with your primary care physician and any of your specialty doctors. The reason that is because a lot of times if you're seeing 2 doctors, they don't know what one doctor's doing versus the other doctor unless they communicate on a regular basis, which typically they don't. So what Anthem does is we monitor things from behind the scenes, and we do that coordination for you, and we send this out to help you do that on your own as well. This is a great thing because if you think about it, every time you go into your doctors every year and they make you fill out that new HIPAA form, privacy form, blah, blah, or they just make you update your information, confirm that your address is the same, confirm what medications you're taking. This is a great little handout for you because all you need to do is copy that the medicine listing, the prescription listing that's in here, and you can give that to them directly so you don't have to handwrite everything out. We're giving you that listing so that you don't have to fill that out. You can just give them a copy and say, here's the current medications as of today. So forth. So this is a really nice handout for you. The other thing that Anthem does behind the scenes is that we will monitor your medications for you. Why we do that is because sometimes you see multiple doctors at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, and one doctor might prescribe you a medication and another doctor prescribes you something else, not realizing that you're taking one from someone else that could have a possible allergic reaction, a bad interaction with each other. They don't work well together. So what we do is we monitor that, and if we ever see that go in, we will flag that so you aren't able to fill one of those medications without going back and talking to your doctor, because we want you to be aware that there could be a possible interaction with those 2 medications that is bad for your health. So we do all that monitoring on the backside for you and make sure that that doesn't happen, because we, again, want to promote health and wellness, and we don't want you to have a drug interaction that's not good for you. So we do all that monitoring on the back end. Again, that's a great thing about these My Health Notes is we do all of that behind the scenes. And again, it's all done privately, confidential, and it's all free. It's automatically built into your plans. Does anyone have questions on that? Yes?
Can I go online and print a current one in case I have misplaced the one that was mailed?
They actually don't put them online because they have privacy information on them. But you could actually call the phone number, that nurse line phone number, and request a new one be sent to you, and they can generate those at any time. Yeah, that's a good question. And just to let you know, too, they often send you friendly reminders about things. Maybe it's time for your preventative health checkup, your annual physical or something like that. You might get a nice little flyer in the mail telling you it's that time. Anthem will do this periodically. Some members get them, some don't. So it really just depends on your personal history with us. And we monitor that, again, by the claims that come in. And just to let you know, sometimes you randomly get these program flyers that just let you know the programs exist. The best one that I have is last year they sent me a Future Moms one. I was like, I'm not married yet, so I said, I don't know if you're trying to give me a hint or something that I should get married and possibly have a baby. I said, but I'm not to that point. But I thought it was funny that they kind of sent me one. So I took it back in the office and was showing everyone because I'm the only single person in my department. Everyone else is married and everyone else has kids. So they like to tease me about that. So I was like, yeah, are you guys trying to tell me something here by sending me this Future Moms flyer? So, but I always get a little kick out of that. But occasionally you might get one of these flyers that tell you you might be eligible for a program. So please make sure that you look for those. So any questions on any of the programs? Okay. Next item I'm going to cover is the Anthem website. If you haven't registered, please do so. And the way you remember our website is it's anthem.com. Just your insurance, anthem.com. So whenever you go out to the website, the home page is the member homepage. This is where you will go to register. It's over here to your right of the screen. You register here. Just as a point, you will need your ID card because it will prompt you for your ID number if you haven't registered yet. So it'll prompt you for that ID number that's on your ID card to register. It'll ask you a few basic questions. The most common thing that I get from people who haven't registered yet, that go out for the first time, is just a reminder, due to HIPAA and privacy laws, anyone that's 18 years or older, it's probably your spouse. So if they're on there, you will not be able to see their information online until they register separately and grant you online access. They are automatically prompted when they register to grant you that online access. They can check yes or no. We suggest they check yes so that you can keep track of their information as well. This also applies to any of your college students. Maybe you've got a college student that's out of state or so forth. So if they're 18 years or older, they have to grant you that online access. Otherwise, you will not see their online information. And just as an FYI, it does need to cycle overnight. So it'll need to cycle overnight after they register. You go on, log in the next day, and just like magic, they're there. So typically what I get is someone's panicked. I know my spouse is on my insurance, but they're not showing up online. That's because they have to grant you that online access first. And then once again, once it cycles overnight, it'll be out there the next day for you to be able to view their information. The other thing I do want to point out too is that you have your Find a Doctor tool here available to you, again on the right. You do not need to be logged in to use this function at all, ever. Just as a reminder, all of your doctors are in the PPO network. Pretty easy to remember, PPO. Just remember, we call PPO Blue Access PPO, Blue Card PPO, National PPO. The clue is look for PPO and they're in your network. The reason we have Blue Card and National is because there's a Blue Cross Blue Shield in every state within the U.S., which means if you travel anywhere within the U.S., you'll be covered and you'll be able to see an in-network provider as long as they're PPO. So we want to make sure that you're aware of that. Very important, especially it's spring break time. Everyone's in Florida, going to those warm places because it's cold here. So you want to make sure that if you or any family member on the plan need to see a provider, you can actually use the internet to look up them. Obviously, if it's an emergency, you don't look on the internet, you just go to the emergency room. So don't want to worry about that in that case. I'm going to go ahead and log in real quick and show you a few of the online tools that are available to you. These are what we call a lot of our transparency tools. My favorite one, this one I always like to point out to everyone, this one here, the facility cost and quality. There's a demo on here, but the most important thing is this will give you cost and quality for procedures in your area. So again, you want to click on this Get Started option there. You will be able to look up common procedures only. And when I say common procedures, those are going to be like office visits, surgeries for maybe neck, back, knee, shoulder, those type of things. Radiology procedures. Imaging procedures are very costly, so you can look up MRIs, X-rays, CTs, PET scans, those type of procedures. So if you have a procedure that no one's ever heard of, it's not going to be online, because again, it's just common procedures. We add to this procedure list every year, so the database grows every year. We're currently, I believe, at 124 procedures online, and they add to those quarterly. So it is a really great transparency tool. You have to be a member in order to use this tool. So the only way to access it besides seeing a demo is you have to be logged in to use it. Here you get to choose your procedure. I like to just let it default to all services, but you do have an option to choose outpatient, inpatient if you choose to do so. You can even select male or female on there as well. And then the category, I like to use a common one. I'm going to use radiology, MRI. And then I'm going to select a procedure. And again, these are just going to list the basic ones. They start all the way at the top with MRI of the brain, all the way down to MRI of the spine and upper limb and so forth. Let's see. Let's do MRI of the brain with and without contrast. The zip code here, 46947. Awesome. I'm always happy when I can remember because I travel a lot. I'm using a 35-mile radius, hoping that that will give us a nice little listing on here. Yes, awesome. Love this. Okay, so I used a larger 35-mile radius for this procedure. At the very top, you can actually use a shorter distance if you prefer. But I wanted to give you a nice listing. At the top, they have Community Regional Health Imaging Center. $532 for that procedure there. If we scroll down to the bottom of the list, now these are they go from lowest cost to highest cost. At the bottom, St. Vincent, Frankfurt, you culprit, $3,638 on the top end. You see this figure here? I love this. This is perfect height for me. One day, I'm glad to be short. So here we have, it starts at $3,000, pretty much $2,976, all the way to $3,638. Huge cost difference. So this tool is one that you can use if you know you're going to have a radiology procedure scheduled in the future. Now, if you go in and it's emergency, you don't use this tool. You just go in and get the radiology procedure done. They won't let you schedule it in the future. They'll tell you, you need it today and you got to get it now. However, if it's an outpatient service and you need to get it scheduled in the future, this is a great tool. You're probably saying, well, I'm on a copay plan and all I have is a 10% coinsurance or a 20% coinsurance to pay. However, one thing I do want to point out is if you use the low-cost facility at the top, now remember, these are all in-network providers. They're all the same quality. It's only where you're getting the procedure done. And don't think you're going to offend your doctor because your doctor's not the one in there running the radiology machine for you. So you can choose to have this procedure done anywhere you'd like. Now, if you're paying a percentage, that low cost, I would rather pay a percentage of $532 than $3,638. That's a huge difference, even if you're on one of those copay percentage plans. Now, if you're on a high deductible health plan, surely you want to pay $532 versus $3,638 because that's going to eat up all your HSA money, that health savings account money that you have, if you have any funds in there. So you want to make sure this is a great tool to use to do research on your own. We encourage you to use it. We want you to be aware the cost differential. There is no difference between any of these facilities as far as the quality and care goes. It's just where you're going to get the service because they all have different contracts. That's the only thing that's different. They're all paid differently. So if you shop around, just like you're shopping for a car. You can shop for your health insurance now too. So you want to make sure that you make the most out of these benefits. Stretch your dollar out, because honestly, if I have to pay 10%, if I'm on a co-insurance plan, I'd rather pay 10% of $500 again than $3,600. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. And that's more money you're going to save and keep in your pocket. Does anyone have questions on this tool? Yes.
So say the doctor says we need a certain procedure, then do we in turn tell him that we'll decide where we want to go and let him know?
Yeah, you can.
Places if our doctor is associated with them.
You can actually have these procedures done anywhere you choose. Your doctor doesn't have to be affiliated with them at all. That's the key there, though, is that your doctor automatically sets you up for the place that they're most familiar with, they're closest to, or they're affiliated with. Sometimes affiliation means they own a little stock in that location. That's the clue for you. But just the other biggest question that I get is about locations, one being better versus another. The truth is, these imaging and radiology centers, the independent places, your surgery centers, again, the radiology, the imaging, your independent labs, the truth is, typically, hospitals usually own those anyway, and your doctor sometimes owns them as well. But if they send you to the hospital for that same procedure, it's going to cost you more. And they just do that out of, normal routine and so forth. But you can schedule these anywhere you'd like. And if you ever need help using the tool, all you need to do is call on Anthem Customer Service. That's that member services phone number on the back of your ID card. They can help you look this up online. They can do the research for you and tell you if it's a common procedure and help you with moving that test to a place that's more affordable. And obviously, again, just as a reminder, it's same quality. So you're not going to a less quality facility. It's the same quality. It's just going to save you money. So that's a really good point. The other thing is Anthem has what they call, yes?
But then they will willingly send those results to your doctor? Or
Yes.
They
do it a couple different ways. Either you can have them, you will fill out paperwork wherever you go. They'll ask you who your referring doctor is. And that'll be your primary care most likely. So then you just fill out their information. They will send that, or they'll give you a copy and you take it yourself. So they do it a couple different ways depending on the location. The other thing is, I do want to let you know that Anthem has what we call a radiology pre-cert program that's built in, again, to your benefits. If we see a procedure scheduled enough ahead of time, maybe it's a week or 2 weeks out, we will automatically do a courtesy call if we notice that there's a lower costing facility in your area that you could use to save money. So don't be afraid, again, if someone from Anthem calls and says, "Hi, I'm with Anthem. I'm in their radiology pre-cert department." They're probably calling because they know that you're scheduled for a service coming up, and they've noted that there are other options available to you. Now, they do it as a courtesy, and they will call you, and they tell you it's optional. It's optional. I like to focus on that, optional. They will tell you about these other locations. If you don't want to switch, you don't have to. But they do like to let you know that there are less costing facilities. Sometimes they don't have enough time. If you're scheduled within 2 or 3 days, they don't have enough time to get a hold of you. So sometimes they even do a courtesy call after, and just to let you know if you ever have to have a procedure done again in the future, that there is another location that you can go to. So typically they try to catch you up front, but if it's one where it's just a few days, they won't have time to do the reach out for you. So I saw a hand. Yes?
I just had foot surgery, and I went to Kokomo to get my x-rays. Logansport has a block where they cannot read the x-rays at Logansport, so my doctor had to go back to Kokomo and read the x-rays at her office. She could not read, they had them blocked, so they could not read them here at Memorial.
Okay, I'm not aware of them doing that, so yeah, because typically x-rays can be shared, so I'm not sure why they're doing that, and that's something probably specific to their location, but typically they aren't, because they have to send x-rays into us sometimes for us to read and review, and they're supposed to share them willingly with your doctors, because that's the point that you're going there, is so that your doctor knows what the results are for treatment. So,
She could read the printout.
yeah.
But she could not actually look at the disc herself. She could not look at the CD or the swab on Logansport.
Yeah, it must be something that they've done wrong with the disc or loading. So, Not saying that doesn't happen, because obviously it did. I thought I saw another hand. Oh, yes.
If we have, I'm just asking, like, if you have a high deductible, if we're having a procedure that it takes $3,000, doesn't Anthem have like the usual customary rate of like $1,800 that we're still gonna be? I'm not sure what.
These are usual and customary. What we do is we give you a range. Going for a service, just like when you're going in for a surgery, it could fluctuate, which is why we give you a low and a high end on here. So if you notice at the top, typical low cost $532, the high cost $650, and that's because if they have to do something extra while they're there, extra supplies are used for whatever reason. So the cost could fluctuate a little, but it's still going to be our usual and customary. We can't just tell you exactly how much we're going to pay, because we're not allowed to do that due to their contract, and it is proprietary information, so we're not allowed to tell you this is exactly what we're going to pay your doctor on this day in this amount. So because contracts are proprietary, so they are private and confidential, just between us and them. So that's why we can only give you a range. We can't give you an exact amount. But again, this will work. It works the same for surgeries as well. It'll give you a range just like it does for imaging and radiology. So again, you can use this. The best thing is if you're on the high deductible health plan, again, you've got your low cost all the way down to your high cost at the end. So you can kind of budget what you're going to have to pay out of pocket for those procedures. And again, it's just common ones. For those procedures that aren't listed on the website, you can also ask your doctors or facility wherever you're going for an estimate as well. They can provide that. A lot of times Anthem gets calls in to our customer service and we're asked for estimates. We don't have that information because we don't know what's going to be billed. Your doctor does. The facility does. We don't know, and we can't give you that information because we don't have it. So that's a common question that I get a lot. This is a great starter tool, but again, it doesn't have everything in there. It's just common procedures only. But it is a great way for you to budget regardless of what type of plan you're on. Any questions about this tool? Yes?
So you're saying that usual and customary services can be completely different for the same procedure from one facility to the next facility?
That's correct. That's why you see at the top it's $532 and it keeps on going up and up and up all the way down to $3,600 on that. Each provider, each location, they have their own contract and they receive different reimbursement for the same procedure. That's why we make this transparency tool available to you, because they don't tell you that when they schedule you. They just typically just send you over to the hospital, and the hospital is going to cost you more in most cases, unless you're going to a freestanding surgery center or freestanding imaging and radiology or an independent lab. Those locations, those freestanding places are always going to save you money versus going to outpatient hospital, those alternative care places. Any other questions on that tool before I go to the next one? Okay. Next item I want to show you is the pharmacy price of drug tool. Now if you notice when I click on here, it's going to take me to another website. It actually takes you to the Express Scripts website. This is the pharmacy vendor for us. They work all of your prescriptions, regardless if you're getting at the retail pharmacy, Osco, CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Meijer, wherever you go and get your prescriptions. Now this is kind of funny because this message pops up every now and then to tell you if you have a new savings opportunity. Now I'm going to let you know every time I click on this, it tells me to switch to mail order because I save money using mail order. So that's because there's only 2 prescriptions on this listing. But again, there could be other options available to you. So it's kind of nice that they tell you that you do have some new savings opportunities. I'm going to click no on there. And I'm going to go ahead and enter a drug name on here. I'd like to pick on Zymbalta. I'm defaulting to the Zymbalta 20 milligram capsule. It will ask you how many pills you take per day. I'm going with 1 pill for a 30-day supply. and it's asking me if I take on a regular basis. I'm selecting yes, and then I'm going to get a price. The best thing about this tool is that it works, again, regardless of what type of plan you're on. If you're on a copay plan with a drug copay, it will list your copays. It will also list other alternative medications available to you, just like it currently shows now. This is set up for a high deductible health plan, so it gives you the discounted amount. This is the discounted amount, $185.33. That's for a 30-day supply. There is a slight savings if you use mail order, but 90 days, that's still a pretty hefty chunk. So if you're able, you stay with the 30-day supply. That's easier to maintain. If you use that brand, the best thing about this is, and the reason I like to pick on Zymbalta, because they're expensive. They like to push that brand. They have all this marketing and advertising into their prescription. You can't go a week probably without seeing an advertisement for Zymbalta. Or Lunesta, with a nice little butterfly so you can sleep. So, but again, it's the greatest and latest version, so they always have the most expensive. But what I want to show you, though, is at the top, the brand, $185 for a 30-day supply. First generic available, $15. Woo! Sign me up for that one. That is cheap, and I want that one. Now, however, they have the next generic available. That's at $20. The next one down, another generic at $39. The next generic available at $40. The big generic at the bottom, $95. Huge cost differential on that. This just shows you how many generics and alternatives are available for that one brand. One brand and 5 different alternatives available. Way cheaper than that $185 a month for that 30-day supply. Again, just as a reminder, if you're on a high deductible health plan, it will look just like this. It will show you the discounted amount for 30-day supply and for a 90-day supply. However, if you're on a copay plan, it will show you the copay based on your brand, based on your generic, and so forth. So it'll show you the copays instead, because it is designed for your benefits. So it will look different for those on a copay plan. And on the right, again, with that 90-day supply, it would show your copays there instead. And obviously it would be your 90-day supply copay instead of your 30-day supply copay. So does anyone have any questions on that tool? Again, I just wanted to show you a few tools today that you have available to you that will help you be a better shopper, a consumer for healthcare. The way things are going is that you can shop for things now that you weren't able to shop for before, because it used to be almost like pulling teeth to find out how much you're going to pay for prescriptions. Online, we will tell you how much the estimated cost is. Now, just to let you know, each pharmacy can vary a little bit. It might be a couple dollars more here or a couple dollars more there, but it's typically going to be around that same amount. These are the exact amounts that you would pay through Express Scripts if you got your prescriptions through them through mail order. These are exact amounts for them, so we like to give you estimates ahead of time. When you go to the pharmacy, each pharmacy has their own contract, so it will flex a little bit. But this is a good starting point for you to let you know how much roughly you're going to pay. So again, we like to put that little note on there, the disclaimer that these are estimated amounts, because every pharmacy has their own contract. So they will be different depending on where you go. So does anyone have questions on anything I've covered today? Well, great. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate your time. I'll be available after if you want to come up and ask me one-on-one things as well. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.